I'm really excited to be chatting with that librarian today. How are you, Amanda?
I'm good. How are you?
I am really good. We have a mutual interest. First of all, mutual interest in libraries. I love libraries. I've always loved libraries. I grew up a block from a library. The library made me who I am, quite honestly. And I hold libraries very close to my heart. I know they're important to you too. Otherwise, you would not have gone into this field. But libraries have been under attack recently. Is that a fair statement?
Oh, you could say that. Yes. Libraries and librarians and the authors and the characters and the stories have been under attack for several years now.
Yeah, you're right that throughout history, we have seen historic time periods where people have been really intent on banning books, these sort of cyclical natures of moral panics surrounding books. But this moral panic is fueled by the internet. And therein lies part of the problem, that the amount of hate is not relegated just to your town board meeting. It's not relegated just to some angry patrons. There's no limit to the people who can find you and target you.
There's so much misinformation and disinformation that is being circulated on social media. As a professional librarian, we have collection development policies and we use professional review sources. And at a school, for instance, I would not order books that are not professionally reviewed for the age group of my children at our school. And in a public library, even though public libraries service people from birth to death, no one is putting inappropriate materials in any children's sections. We don't even have pornography in the adult section.
Yeah, when you look at the list of books that have been challenged or removed from school libraries in particular around the country, the thousands of titles that have been challenged, most of them either are authored by or feature characters of color.
Yes, that is very true. They are targeting the authors and the books and the stories, but it's also a part of a much larger picture in the movement to defund public libraries and to defund public schools.
There is a movement against professionalism. So when you say, I'm a professional librarian, I have a master's degree in library science, professionals are vetting these books to make sure they are appropriate for the age group that they are shelved in. Those words are in and of themselves offensive to some people. Do you agree?
There is a movement to defund professionalism. You see attacks on teachers and librarians to discredit us. And even in Louisiana, we had 9 anti-library bills last legislative session, and only one passed. But the one that did pass was a bill that said that public library directors in Louisiana no longer have to have a library science degree. And first of all, they did that so that they can remove library directors and install pastors and chaplains who have no experience over libraries. But it's devaluing the profession. It's saying, what's the point of a master's degree? And people that say these things have no idea the work that goes into schooling for this. We take entire classes on collection development and library policies. We don't just check out books. We do so much more than that, but they're trying to devalue our profession. The thing about educators and librarians, we don't go into this profession for fame, fortune, money, with ulterior motives. We go into it because we love children, we love reading, we love books in the library, and we love our communities. We surely don't get paid a lot of money. We go in it for service to our community. So for them to have community members turn around and just tell complete lies and harass me for a field I went into to service the community is just appalling. You have to stop doing what you love, which is librarianship and talking about books in libraries, because you're afraid that someone's going to come harm you or your family or the people that you work with. It's not fair. And they get away with this. They just make up these lies and they just get away with it. And nothing is done.
I am so truly sorry that this happened and is continuing to happen to you, especially as somebody who just is a public servant. Right? Like, you went into this because you care about your community. And I'm so sorry to hear what has happened to you.
And the thing is, it's not just me. I can name a librarian in every single state that this has happened to, multiple librarians in every single state, for the crime of just saying libraries are for everyone.
You also mentioned this too, that it's a myth that all librarians are just a bunch of like left-wing extremists, that many librarians, in fact, are not.
I was raised Republican. In Louisiana, I talk about this in the book, Southern Baptist. And I was raised that we should all love one another. Love thy neighbor as thyself, and champion the underdog, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that the Constitution is key. And what I'm seeing for my community that raised me in these values, that's exactly what I'm doing, but they don't like it. So it's hypocritical.
That's a great point, that the values you were raised with are the ones you are trying to live out. But unfortunately, it appears as though things have changed for some other groups, and they now think that their quote unquote crusade against the woke mind virus means that they do not have to abide by the sort of moral principles they were raised with. We're exempt from those because we're in the middle of a war. I would love to hear your perspective on that, but that's how it seems to me from where I sit, that they view this as warfare and all bets are off.
That's exactly how they view it. And to me, I'm not in a war. I just want to protect our libraries. And I'm not a government bureaucrat. I'm a school librarian, and I'm a resident of my community, and I can speak out for my public library. And that doesn't make me some kind of wokest whatever. It means I'm standing up for the rights of all Americans.